Who don't understand the concept of astrology and how can these rocks in the sky have any effect on us? You've got to start with the premise that we're all energy, different concentrations of energy, but it's all energy, and that we're influenced by different energies. So large celestial bodies are large bodies of concentrated energy that then influence us.
Let's start with King Charles. So I did look at him first because, well, he's the king right now, so he has the most influence, we'll say right now, over England.
Responsibility.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's been waiting years and years and years and years to become king. So with King Charles, I know that he is suffering from cancer. Is that correct? He's ill,
Or
right?
kidneys, probably. His hands would indicate severe kidney problems.
Okay. Now, this has been announced, correct, that he has cancer. Okay.
I don't know. Has it been announced? I don't know if it's
I
been
don't know.
announced.
Kate was died. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that it has been.
Okay.
Yeah, people have noticed his chubby fingers or whatever, and
That's kidneys. So that's a renal issue
Okay.
for the hands. Yeah.
So
And you can see it in the pallor of his face, etc. It's all
okay.
kidney issues. Yeah.
At the end of this month, October, he has 2 transits going on. These transits they're happening at the end of October, and they will reappear next year, January 22nd and 23rd, because the planets will go retrograde and then come back to these points. So this is Neptune in it's a square to his Uranus, and Neptune is in a square to his natal Jupiter. These are outer planets. They have a larger effect. It's not like a daily effect. They have a larger impact. To me, it looks like his health will decline. And I also looked at Vedic astrology for this because something that I do look at is when people pass away. I try to see how to understand what the charts look like, because it's different for everybody. There's not like a definite, your Pluto's here and then you're going to pass away. His chart, to me, looks like it's reflecting either his health will seriously deteriorate and they could be trying to hide it from between now through January, even into February, but his health could overcome him at some point, possibly around early next year. And I know that's a big thing to say, but the things going on in his chart is making it look like his health is going to seriously decline. Now, with Neptune, it makes things murky. You try to tell lies, tell illusions, so they could be trying to cover it up even more than they've been covering it up.
Or
they have
something very different.
Or something completely different. But this is going to add stress.
Related, but very different. There is a history of killing off older monarchs to bring in the next monarch, and they kill off the older monarch. This goes back again to the late 1600s as a means of demonstrating power and control.
Oh, okay. Well, that ties into February 2026. Now, one more point about his health and his decline. This is Vedic astrology because I had to just double check. There's 2 different systems, and I just wanted to back up my information here. Pluto, this is in Vedic astrology, will be in his 8th house in Aquarius. Oh, excuse me. It's in 7th house. Excuse me. But that is going to be his relationship to himself, relationship to the people, sudden transformation, maybe sudden endings of things for himself, maybe ending a monarchy. moving into February. Now, I'm not saying that he is going to pass away or pass on now or between now and February 2026, but there's things in his chart that are saying that he will become possibly more ill, or something will happen to him where he might step down from being king, whether it's he's still alive and he's sick, or something, he passes on to the next world.
I suspect he's going to abdicate. Yes.
And that would be meaning stepping down from power.
Yeah. I
Okay.
suspect he's going to abdicate, but he's
Okay.
going to take as much of the blame of things as he can to take that off of his son,
Okay.
right, as he can. But that's going to put him in direct conflict, which is already there, with Stammer and the government and the foreign-owned Europeans. But my suspicion, I've written on this, is that he's going to abdicate. It's interesting, the timing
Okay.
that you're
So
talking about.
in March 20th to be exact. Now, again, when I'm saying these dates, it doesn't mean that something's going to happen exactly on that day. Things will be, I would usually say, like, before the date that I'm saying, a week or two out, could happen even a week or two afterwards, but around the 20th. Saturn and Neptune will be conjunct in the sign of Aries. Okay, this is King Charles's birth chart. They'll be conjunct in the sign of Aries at 0 degrees. During this time, Saturn and Neptune that are transiting in the sky will be squaring again to Jupiter and Uranus, whether it's expanding his illness, expanding stresses in his life. Jupiter will be square to natal Neptune and the very bottom of his chart.
Very interesting. A word just came out of your mouth. NATO.
So let me back up my thoughts because I'm getting ahead of myself. So when Saturn and Neptune are next to each other, right here, they'll be at 0 degrees. This is everywhere in the world. That 0 degrees is this world degree. Large changes, large events. And to me, in my mind, royalty comes into my mind, like changing of the throne. One king going out and then a new king coming in. To me, that's what I'm getting when I'm looking at this, especially for his chart.
Makes sense.
Because I'll bring this up afterwards, but William and Harry's charts coincide with this. So he has these challenges. So Saturn and Neptune here, this is February 20th, 2026. They'll be in a square to his natal Uranus at 29 degrees and his natal Jupiter at 29 degrees. 29 degrees is the ending of something. It's the completion of something you've done. Could be life. It's a completion. So you've graduated to, and you're going to the next level. With Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees, the beginning of it's like starting one thing and ending another. I really see this could be around the time of when he is stepping down, for whatever reasons he's stepping down, and possibly William coming into the king picture. He also has Pluto here with this transformation, death, rebirth, but peeling away the things that are no longer working. And it's next to this descendant line here. Before I go any further, this descendant, midhaven, ascendant, and IC line, extremely important parts in anybody's chart. They are a huge signifier that of life changes, life events are occurring. And with Pluto here, again, it's just pulling all this stuff together with Saturn, Neptune squaring to Jupiter, Uranus. With Pluto here next to the descendant, it's just an indicator to me that it's an ending of something in his life. Relationships in his life, maybe relationship to the people, relationship to the throne, to England. But to me, it looks like this is when he's going to be stepping down and away, however that happens, whether it's forced to or it's a natural stepping away. That's what I see around February 2026.
Rex.
Yeah.
I think it'll be for health.
Health? That's what you say?
I think he's going to step down for health.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Again, it could be passing away, and I know it's a huge thing to say for a king, but
if it's passing away, they killed him.
Right, or whether we know that, when with Neptune,
this is Sport of Kings, people. We're not talking the Great Game. That's what Stammer's playing. There's a thing above that where real power is, actual power.
Right.
That's the sport of kings, and they got no problem killing a king.
Yep. So,
They've done it many times.
Yep. And with Neptune and Saturn here, it's like it could if he was to be taken out, it could be that the people in the background here, the shadows in the dark, could be taking him out to still hold on to their power, because Saturn Neptune here at 0 degrees is it's a huge deal. It hasn't happened for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's starting a new system, possibly maybe a new royalty system or something.
I would be interested to see if it goes. The last time it was 340 years ago, or 380 years ago when this all started.
I will get back to you on that one. It's been a very long time since they've been together at Aries 0 degrees. With William's chart, let me pull his chart up because this all ties in together. It's like it just tells a story of all their lives. And Harry is, again, this hasn't been announced, but he's not King Charles's son, like natural son. I know that's not a thing that's been announced yet, but that's a okay.
We don't know it. Okay. But historically, not just in the English system, but in most old historical systems, it's the bastard that comes back at the end and saves everything.
Okay.
And sometimes the bastard gets put on the throne. Just putting that out there for everybody hates Harry. Not saying that's going to happen.
No, but I'm going to keep that in mind when we bring up Harry. This is
just on that. It's widely held notion that Harry is not Charles's son.
Okay.
He's, I forget the name of everything, the butler,
the bodyguard.
No, Her Majesty's, Her Royal Highness's equerry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that like her right hand person?
Harry looks like him. He doesn't look like King Charles. Whereas William looks like King Charles.
Yes, particularly the hairline. For those of us who are DHT and follically challenged, right?
This is Prince William's chart. Same day, February 20th, 2026. And
sorry, was he born on a solstice?
He was born on the 21st of June, 1982. Yep. Yep, he was. And I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they did induce her, so he would be born because
so in the back channels in the old family, that I come from, etc., that's the thing that's been whispered for a long time, that Her Royal Highness was induced so he would be born on, what is that, the summer solstice?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Which, again, summer solstice in the old English system going all the way back has very high. Summer solstice is the time when everybody comes together, right? It's the unity.
Yep. The sun is coming back to life. Yep.
Yeah.
King, sun, king.
Harvest hasn't come yet, right? But we're all coming together. Yeah.
And that would make sense because the sun also represents a king, ruler, royalty.
Wow.
So his.
Just hold on a second. You say this is from people.com. When his mother, Princess Diana, gave birth to him on June the 21st, 1982, Prince William had to be induced because I couldn't handle the pressure any longer. It was becoming unbearable. Diana later told her confident journalist Andrew Morton. It was as if everybody was monitoring every day for me.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, but that's Her Royal Highness playing her part.
Wow.
Right. And I'm actually a fan of Her Royal Highness. I also know that she had some issues, and who doesn't? Truly upper class families are horrible to one another. It's just the way it is because there's so many other obligations.
Yeah.
I suspect that's just Her Royal Highness providing the argument that we can all live with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the other thing, Her Royal Highness took upon herself the role of somewhat of the whipping, as the bad guy, right?
And also they were monitoring me every day. And of course they would be.
Yes.
The future king. But also, if what you're saying, EM, is accurate, and it's entirely plausible, because millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do, the powerful do, the powerful do.
Well, the monarchs do.
Monarchs
the royals do. And
right.
Oh, by the way, the Praetorians do too, because they know how to play on the myth systems.
Right. So of course they'd want a future king to be born most auspicious of days.
Yeah.
Longest day of the year.
particularly if secretly they were setting him up to be the king who restores.
Okay, so what does it mean? What does it mean that he was, from an astrological perspective, Lauren, that he was
Yeah.
born on the solstice? Just that on its own.
Just that on its own, it's I would say, okay, so the summer, the solstice is it's the sun is, spring, the sun is coming back to life, but the sun in the summertime it's in its fullness, full glory, it's fully seen. It,
It's full
it
power.
rules the sky, the sun.
Yeah.
It's
It's in its full power.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Full visible power.
Yep. So I would say that would be them using astrology, the heavens, the energy to, to really say, yes, symbolize, say that he is the king. They wanted, him to be born on the
Divine.
solstice at the 0 degree to start maybe a new monarchy, a new line,
A restoration.
Yep.
A restoration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they are planning generations and generations back, then they have to know that at some point something is going to have to change. Like it can't be the same forever. They've been in charge for so long. They obviously know that at some point this is going to have to be different. Then we're going to have to go through this radical revolution, and then this will, if they're planning everything in advance, I would say that with him, sun is at 0 degrees. It's like starting a fresh new monarchy. Modernizing the monarchy, perhaps, because
I think it's a restoration.
Restoration.
I think it's a restoration. I think a thing was set in motion in the 1960s that actually was set in motion over 250 years ago, led to the creation of the United States, the U.S. Constitution, which is a far better representation of the English Constitution, the Bill of Rights, which comes out of the English Bill of Rights. It's taken 200 and some odd years to get the United States into a position where it was the dominant force, just like Constantinople out of Rome 2 centuries or 2 millennia, nearly 2 millennia ago. And what was set in motion in the 1960s by the assassinations of the Kennedys and others was a recognition that we have to bring about the full removal of this Praetorian system, this Praetorian regime. We've been terribly sorry. And all of that effort going back to the 1700s, 1600s, really, because this would have been set in motion at least when King Charles II was put back on the throne, if not when King Charles I was arrested and then beheaded. This counter would have been set in motion. If not then it would have been in 1688 when we had a fake king put on our throne. We have to think, again, these people think in terms of centuries, right? Or a millennia.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to think that, thank you, honey. We have to think that there would have been a counter set in motion, at least, if not before 1688, but very much then at 1688. And we're just now getting to the culmination of it. But all the things have got to line up, and all the subtle things and that really do mean a lot to people, right? All those things that have to line up, because you're talking about a major fundamental in this, at this point, 340-year total change.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Right.
one quick question. When you say restoration, do you mean to restore it back to like its goodness, that people love it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So to restore the crown as the executive
Okay.
of the three power system, right? So the same that we have here in the United States, right? The executive is the president, then you have the judiciary, and then you have Congress, which is parliament there, right? So a restoration of a balance of power, but with the executive acting almost solely on behalf of the people. Now here we have an electoral system. There we have an hereditary system. But it would be a restoration. What it would be fully is just removing this parasite that's been living upon all of us for 3.5 centuries.
Okay. Well.
And that parasite being the city of London.
Well, and before that, Venice and Amsterdam,
The
and now they're in UAE and Qatar, and now we're gonna have to fight that out and all of that. But it would be, for all intents and purposes, what it would be is a restoration of English constitutionality, right? And the monarch is very much a part of that constitutionality. In fact, They are the critical executive. But if you look back to the 1688s, even before, all the way back to the 1650s, well, whenever Cromwell was gone, I can't remember. But if you look all the way back to when King Charles II was put on the throne, and then King James II was put on the throne, and then they were cast aside, and William of Orange was put on the throne, the monarch has not been able to be an executive, fill the executive role since King Charles was dethroned. So this isn't necessarily, this is not a restoration of absolute monarchy or any of that, right? Because again, English monarchies were not taught that we developed in direct refutation. We didn't want an absolute monarch. That was the French system. That was the, systems in the continental Europe. So my suspicion would be a restoration of English constitutionality and English common law, free of foreign occupation and occupiers, of which, as the executive, the crown must be restored to the people, right? To being responsible to the people, accountable to the people, not accountable to the guys in their security forces with knives and poisons and car crashes and everything else, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Thank you, Ian. Lauren, let's go back to Prince William.
Okay, yeah, this is Prince William. So same time, February 20th, 2026, around that time. In his chart, he has his sun at 0 degrees because he's born on the solstice, but he also has Jupiter at 0 degrees.
Interesting.
That's in Scorpio. That's just like ultimate power. That could be used for good, but that's just like a signature of like this ultimate expansion of powerful. Scorpio could be inheritance of power. Obviously, he would inherit it from his father. But during this time, Uranus will be at 27 degrees, the 6th house of his chart. Sudden change in his daily life. 6th house is his day-to-day activities, what he does. For him, if there was a change of power, this could be signaling a sudden shift in what he does. Going from prince to king is obviously it's a big change. It's a big deal. And he also
but also from doing charity, face work to actually governance.
Right. Okay. Yep.
That would be an even bigger change.
Mm-hmm. Like the responsibility of the crown of the
being
people.
the executive. Yeah.
And we also have Jupiter transiting Jupiter. All the planets on the outside here are transiting planets. The ones that are going on in the sky at the moment. The ones on the inside are his natal planets. Jupiter, transiting Jupiter, will be next to his north node. That's his destiny. What is he destined to do in his life? It's at his north node's at 14 degrees. Cancer is like a motherly paternal, maternal. Taking care of the country, of the people. With Jupiter in the 8th house next to the north node, how I'm reading it is inheriting from his father, becoming the king. It's like it's his destiny to expand England, expand the monarchy. Not like a dictatorship, but perhaps bring in a new way of the ruling, of how to do things.
The restoration alone would be a massive change. Wouldn't need any more powers, wouldn't need to give up any more powers, would just have to actually go back to exercising, being free to exercise English constitutionality, as our friend Graham Moore talks about.
Right. And
even though he's against the crown.
And Saturn and Neptune, when they're in Aries, the moon will be close by. The 5th house, that's also represents that king-like energy. Again, starting something, bringing values back to the people, changing the value, that the people's values are changing. They'll be being changed. And it's like you said, restoring, bringing a sense of domesticism, having patriotism for the country. Yeah.
English civilizational. I wrote a book, This Our English Civilization, on this very thing, Englishness.
Now, transiting over to Harry's chart.
Okay.
You did mention it's the I would say it's not the stepson, but it's not
The bastard.
the bastard
Us
son
bastards.
is
I'm a bastard, by the way.
okay,
Just so everybody knows.
is the one who could be coming into power, or the ultimate, right?
Not necessarily the power. So historically, what the bastards do is a great paper out of Cambridge on this, by the way. Very well done. But historically, in times of great crisis where the noble house or the royal house are under real threat from within or without, the bastard is the one that comes back and saves everything.
Okay.
Because they can do the things that, the one who's going to hold the title or holds the title can't do, the bastard things. It's actually why we're called bastards. But they're not a threat to the actual title or throne because they don't have the legitimacy. However, in the worst case, and this has happened historically as well, and oh, by the way, this even happens in wealthy elite families, not just, so long-lived, many generations wealthy elite families. But in the worst case where the conflict period kills the one who has legitimate right to the throne or the title or the inheritance, right, the family's estate, the bastard child does have enough legitimacy that they can be fully adopted by the family and then assume the title or the throne. And that has happened as well.
Okay.
Heaven forbid that happens here, or we get to that. But historically, that is the role of the bastard, is at the utmost. They come home, often as the prodigal, and they come home and they do the ugly shit that's got to be done to make sure that the transition occurs and the family survives, right? The family, the estate, the title, the lands, in this case, as a king, the civilization in the kingdom survives, right? Not just the family.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So,
it's very interesting, excuse me, that you said that, because I'll bring his chart up in a second. On the same day, the 20th, 2026, his Saturn and Neptune will be next to the very bottom part in his chart, and Lilith will be there. This has to do with domestic life responsibilities, and I would say for the homeland, for England, for the crown. And it's also bringing up things from the past, like you said, being a bastard child. It could be bringing that up somehow. That could, like, him doing things that maybe the king can't do because he isn't a direct descendant, getting away with it, but it's expansion through relationships, possibly him and William coming together, having a better relationship, him working with him to get things done.
Yeah.
That he couldn't do on his own. So let me bring up his chart now.
That the king can't do.
Right.
Yeah. By the by, I just wrote, well, not direct reference, of course, but I just wrote the Bastard Prince into my novel, Azrael Burns.
Oh.
So I'm very interested in this chart right now because I've literally just written the Bastard Prince into 2 chapters, and now he's going to be a major character in this novel and the next one.
Oh, okay. Well, this is his.
In the stars, EM.
Yeah.
Okay. So his birth chart. Quickly, in his birth chart, looking at it, being a bastard son, he has Neptune next to Jupiter, and Neptune is in his 12th house at the very end. That could be secrets hidden from him about his life, about who he is. I just wanted to bring that up. But back to the 20th of February. Now, he has his moon next to the descendant. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So Saturn and Neptune at the bottom of his chart, they're not next to the IC line. They're just next to Lilith. Excuse me. This is very important anyways. So it's bringing things back, digging things back up, bringing things up to the surface about his history, about who he is from the past.
Mm-hmm. Why he's so angry.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Maybe we all find out.
Yep.
Maybe he has reasons to be angry.
Yes.
Maybe they know him. He knows they killed his mother.
And,
right?
I'd probably say he probably senses that King Charles is not his dad. He could have just in the back of his mind, he could sense it, be like, I know.
He knows it.
Yeah.
He actually knows it. But His Majesty, when he was assuming the crown, in several, because I watched very closely. He, even though Harry is not his son, Charles loves him as his son.
Okay.
You can hear it in the conversations. You can hear it in the tone of his voice when he speaks about His Royal Highness Prince Harry. He loves him as his son.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm sorry. Okay, so back to sorry, I just lost my train of thought. So
Yeah,
back to the 20th.
yeah, terribly sorry. Yeah, terribly sorry. Yeah.
So this at the bottom of his chart, and again, all the information that you just told me, he could be coming in to help his brother. He could be doing the dirty work, digging down below the surface, because he does have Pluto here in his birth chart. He has Pluto at 0 degrees, rebelling against, changing the tides of things, doing things in the dark. What I mean by that is, doing things that people don't always see, but it's making great changes in the background.
Literally what I just wrote in my novel.
Oh.
But yeah, go sorry, terribly sorry. Yeah. In the novel, he has a private military contract company. He's a member of the order, which is secret order of knights, etc. And yeah, anyways.
Sounds like it'd be a great show or something like that.
Yeah, well, we're working on that. Yeah.
With Jupiter here next to his descendant, again, he could be coming back into connection with William. His relationship with William could be reflecting on what's going on with the country, meaning like they're coming back together, say they begin to have a closer relationship again. That could be reflecting to the people, meaning that the country begins to have love itself again, be like, I love that I am, from London. I love that you're my king. Like they have pride again.
That I am English. Interesting.
We do have the North Node in the 3rd house and the South Node. Okay, I'm just going to the South Node here. It's like he's breaking karmic cycles, karmic patterns of the past. And this could be in relationship to what he's doing, what he's being summoned for, called for. I mean, I don't know. I know some things about the royal family, but I don't know much. But, it could be William that calls him to come and do this. Or he could be coming to do this on his own, because we also have Mercury here in the 3rd house in Pisces at this time. So he could almost be feeling that maybe his brother needs him, like he's being called up by his own instincts that, I need to go see my brother. I need to go help him out.
He is a warrior. And he has been in war. And he has been in combat. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And there's a warrior's sense to
go and be like,
there's a fight.
I
Time
need
to set
go
the
help.
fight aside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go do this. Yeah. So that's what I have.
Interesting.
For the royal family.
Thank you both. Is that come January, King Charles is unwell.
Yes.
His health is going to worsen significantly in the early new year. In early part of 2026, January, February. Possibly he may abdicate, or something else may happen that he's no longer the king, and that William steps in, and that there's a reunification between William and Harry.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yep.
Which is so crazy, because I felt this and I've talked it with people who actually know the family directly and communicate, I've communicated this for 6 years now. Harry is the key. My suspicion, now I don't know if it's going to play out this way exactly, because the enemy is moving against us. But my suspicion is that His Majesty is going to speak against and move against Keir Starmer and the government, and try and bring about force through constitutional means, which he has the royal, constitutional, not just royal, but constitutional prerogatives to do, that he will bring about a no confidence vote in the government sometime in the next couple months.
King Charles or Prince?
His Majesty King Charles.
Okay.
Okay. What that will do, which would tie in with Starmer coming out and his, meat puppet masters coming out with some new solution, right, as you articulated. But what they will do behind the scenes is they will do everything in their power to vilify, destroy the reputation of King Charles himself. They'll come up with probably pedophilia stuff because of the gentleman you mentioned earlier, that horrible BBC pedophile guy in crypto that you mentioned earlier. I suspect they'll stir up trouble as much as they can against the crown, hatred, vitriol, and all of that. And then in a moment, for health reasons, His Majesty will abdicate. But when William comes in, he will have the full faith, force, and support of the United States, its military, its intelligence capabilities. And I doubt very much we'll send military guys there directly, advise and assist guys. But when the Civil War kicks off there, which is what's going to come, because that's why this, forgive me, but this bitch fucking was put in front of the Home Secretary, so she has control of MI5 specifically for Civil War, right? And then you got Yvette Cooper, who doesn't directly control, but overlooks MI6. That was specifically set up for Civil War. But what I suspect is William will raise the banners, and a whole lot of us are going to come answer the call.
Yep. And just
Harry will be there as one of the leaders of that.
Thank you both very, very much. Fascinating conversation.
Yes, thank you.
And it's great to see how, I suppose, political, historical analysis intersect with astrological analysis. And we can see it playing out on the landscape currently. So thank you very much. I'll have all the links in the description below, and look forward to having you both on my channel again at some point soon. Lauren, we're going to be doing a video with about a particular cryptocurrency at some point soon. And EM, you and I are back on with GM in a couple of weeks' time. Graham Moore from the English Constitution.
Yeah.
Look forward
And
to
hopefully Alex here as well.
Yes, we need to
Yeah.
arrange with Alex Trainer. So please subscribe, share this video far and wide. Go check out Lauren's work. Go check out EM's work. And let's stand for free.
And check out Rich's work.
Thank you. Thank you. Indeed, yes.
Don't
All the
forget
best.
that. Yeah.
Thank you.